This is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Karaba Avenue, and I am Mamudu Gajiga. Thank you for joining us. First, a look at our main news headlines. Staff at Sheikh Zayed Regional Eye Care Hospital in Kanifing have raised concern about the increase in the number of people with eye problems, especially young children. The Gambia joined the rest of the world today to mark International Standards Day under the theme, Our Shared Vision for a Better World. Following debates on social media over freedom of speech in the Gambia, we engaged the public for their views on the current state of freedom of speech and freedom of expression and the limitations attached. The Kanifing Municipal Council have removed the uncollected waste dumped at the Serekunda Sandika after vendors in a QTV news broadcast on Monday raised concerns over the adverse effect on them and their customers. Those were the main news headlines, and now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you very much if you're just joining us. This is QTV News and I am Mamudu Gajiga. Staff at Sheikh Zayed Regional Eye Care Hospital in Kanifing have raised concern about the increase in the number of people with eye problems, especially young children. They highlighted this matter on the commemoration of World Sight Day, observed annually on the second Thursday of October. More in this report.
World Sight Day is a global event which draws attention to blindness and vision impairment. This year's theme is I pledge to prioritize my eyes. According to the WHO, vision impairment poses an enormous global financial burden, with the annual global cost of productivity losses associated with vision impairment estimated at $411 billion. This is Alassana Toure, a cataract surgeon and health promotion specialist at Sheikh Zayed Regional Eye Center.
Ocular trauma means anything that will hit the eye and will cause trauma or injury to the eye. So this is a very serious condition and it's in high numbers in this country. If I would tell you, every week a minimum of 3 children will lose their sight. Every week, minimum. Maximum will go around 5. Either children are playing, they throw stone at each other, or a child is being beaten by the teacher or the ustaz, and then the stick will hit the eye. So this is a very serious matter. We are so concerned about this.
Globally, at least 2.2 billion people have a near or distant vision impairment. In at least 1 billion, or almost half of these cases, vision impairment could have been prevented or has yet to be addressed. Alassana Toure has a stark warning for the next decade if care is not taken with our eyes. He calls on parents to be vigilant with children, especially when they are playing.
In the next 10 years to come, if care is not taken in the Gambia, we're going to have a lot of only eye, that is one eye Gambian. It's very important for all diabetes patients who are going to medical clinic to also be routinely coming to the eye clinic for fundoscopy. Those conditions, you don't see them, but these things occur and gradually they develop. So if you are coming to the eye clinic regularly for your checkup, we will detect these things and then preventive measures can be taken, but also treatment can be taken.
The first World Sight Day was commemorated on October 8, 1998, which was later integrated into Vision 2020, a global initiative coordinated by the International Agency for the Prevention of Blindness. Alassana Toure advises how to care for our eyes.
Hypertension is a lifelong condition. Once you have them, you will live with them for the rest of your life. So also is the condition they cause in the eye. So treating the condition in the eye does not only solve the problem, because you have to solve the root cause of the problem. Your blood sugar has to be controlled. Your blood pressure has to be controlled. And this we have to do in collaboration with the medical clinic, medical officers, the MOPDs. So these are the people who help patients to control their blood sugars and their blood pressure. So that is very key. And no one...
In terms of regional differences, the prevalence of distance vision impairment in low and middle income regions is estimated to be 4 times higher than in high income regions. Globally, the leading causes of vision impairment are age-related macular degeneration, cataract, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and uncorrected refractive errors. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
The Minister for Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment presided over the official opening of the first Gambia-Nigeria MSME exhibition on Friday, organized by the Gambia Investment Promotion and Agency, GIPA, and the Nigeria Export Promotion Council. The event hopes to boost trade between the two countries. More in this report by Ansumane Sonyasi.
Jointly organized by the investment and export agencies of both countries, this week-long exhibition brings together 60 participants engaged in small and medium-sized enterprises to boost trade and strengthen the economies of both countries. Declaring the event officially open, Babukar Diouf, Gambia's newly appointed trade minister, says government welcomes this exhibition as an important development that will impact positively on many lives. And he gave assurances of the government's full support to help organizers realize the exhibition's objectives.
This opportunity will test the international market for their products and services, as well as reinforce the economic relations between business operators and counterpart agencies in both countries for effective and profitable participation in the Africa Continental Free Trade Area.
Usainu Senghor and Ezra Yakusak, CEOs of GIPA and NEPC respectively, thanked the governments of both countries for creating the enabling environment for this to happen and for supporting this important endeavor. They say this pilot project is part of a new market development strategy aimed at resolving market access challenges across the sub-region.
On this note, I welcome again my colleagues from Nigeria, NEPC and Sweden, and the exhibitors, both from the Gambia and Nigeria, for their participation.
I have no doubt of the workability of this partnership and the benefits to be derived therefrom. While the large Nigerian market, on one hand, presents huge opportunities for Gambian SMEs, Gambia, on the other hand, has a relatively stable political system with less security challenges that is a bet to foreign direct investments.
Gambia's Tourism Minister, Hamad Bah, and Mohamed Manu, Nigeria's High Commissioner to the Gambia, emphasized the importance of this exhibition and the need to organize such events frequently to help strengthen the economies of both countries. They say the Gambia and Nigeria have enjoyed strong bilateral ties since in the 1960s that have greatly impacted all sectors of development.
You have dominated the banking industry in Africa. No doubt nobody can challenge you. You are the biggest economy in the whole of African continent. You have the largest population in the whole of African continent. And Nigeria have the best, one of the best brains in the world. No doubt about that. The fastest thing you find in a computer was created by a Nigerian.
In this regard, we cannot forget that one of the cardinal objectives of ECOWAS is free movement of goods and services within the sub-region. I strongly believe that the program we are launching today is towards the realization of this noble objective. I wish to, however, observe that we still have a long way to go towards the realization of this cardinal objective of ECOWAS.
With the Gambia's launching of the 2021-2025 National Export Strategy, highlighting 6 critical sectors identified as having the potential to boost export promotion in the Gambia, this event is timely. Also, Gambian entrepreneurs with dreams of penetrating international markets, especially the sub-region, have an opportunity to expose their products to buyers from Nigeria and beyond. Meanwhile, as a side attraction, Gambian and Nigerian music and movie stars are expected to perform at the exhibition tonight. Ansumane Sonyasi for QTV News.
The Gambia joined the rest of the world today to mark International Standards Day under the theme, Our Shared Vision for a Better World. Aliou Cisse has more on this story.
World Standards Day is celebrated each year on 14 October to raise awareness among consumers, policymakers, and businesses about the importance of using standardized measurements, technologies, and industries. The day also pays tribute to the thousands of experts worldwide who collaborate within the international standard setting organizations to develop voluntary international standards. The theme for this year's commemoration is Our Shared Vision for a Better World, which aims to increase understanding about the importance of standardization to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Abdoulaye Jammeh, Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Employment and Regional Integration, said the COVID-19 pandemic laid bare the stark inequalities between and within countries and further exacerbated poverty.
In effect, it revealed absolute necessity of addressing SDGs in an inclusive way to strengthen our societies, making them more resilient and more equitable. Today, we are asking you to join us on a mission that affirms the importance of the SDGs to build back better according to our individual and international and national realities and contexts. However, it is generally recognized that for the SDGs to achieve their stated objectives within the stipulated time frame, we need to use all available tools, including international standards and conformity assessments. This is simple to digest, given that the success of the SDGs is grounded on consensus, collaboration, and innovation, and these are the very foundations on which international standards are based.
This year marks the 11th anniversary of the establishment of the Gambia Standards Bureau. The International Standards Day was founded in 1947 with 67 technical committees, and the first World Standards Day was formally inaugurated in 1970. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
With that report from Aliou Cisse, it's going to take us to a commercial break, and when we return, we still have some more local news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
Bank from here and there and here too, here and even here. Introducing the Bloom Digital Suite from Bloom Bank Africa, web and mobile banking that allows you to bank on the go at your convenience and on your own terms. Check and transfer funds, pay NAWEC bills, buy cash power, buy mobile credit, and so much more. For more information, visit www.bloombankafrica.com or pass by any of our branches nationwide. Download from the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. Bloom Digital Web and Mobile Banking on the go from Bloom Bank Africa.
Wait, LG, thank you. Yup. Thanks to LG ThinQ, I can operate and get cycle updates from my AIDD front-load washing machine without even stepping foot in the laundry room. I can be busy with rehearsals on a conference call and still do my laundry, or watching series glued to my couch and too lazy to get up. My life made easy with LG ThinQ.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is QTV News, and thank you to our listeners also on Q Radio. Following debates on social media over freedom of speech in the Gambia, we engaged the public for their views on the current state of freedom of expression in the Gambia and the limitations attached to it. Jennifer Sonko has the details.
Following our engagement with a lawyer on what the Constitution says about freedom of speech and freedom of expression and the limitations, we went out and about to get public opinion on the topic. The Constitution says, No person shall be subject to interference within the privacy of his or her home. Correspondence of communications, save as is in accordance with law and is necessary in a democratic society in the interests of national security, public safety, or the economic well-being of the country. End of quote. Freedom of expression protects one's right to hold opinions and express them freely without government interference. Nelson Mendes says he supports the existing limitations and more public sensitization should be conducted.
I think compared with the previous regime, it's somehow better being expressed that people go to the extent of even going beyond the limits, because what? It's like the law. Like the lawyers are not briefing the citizenry on what their limitations are supposed to be. Some people are just speaking without knowing their limitations. Like in anywhere you speak, there should be always what? A limitation. You cannot just come and speak.
Mutar Jala says he is not against the limitations the law attaches to freedom of expression, only the inconsistency of exercising it.
But personally also, I don't believe that people really have to be censored. Or that just yesterday I was arguing that insults for public officials should probably be, let's say, insulting somebody on their body, you know, or probably insulting their appearance. You can limit on those. But for example, calling, you know, saying somebody is not competent in office or somebody is irresponsible, words like that should not be considered as insult for public officials because they are paid by taxpayers' money in this regard. But I fully agree with the people who argue that government in general should not put so much restriction as to people's ideas.
Fatu Sidibe accepts that freedom of speech and expression exists in the Gambia currently, but says freedom of speech is one thing, but this quite different from government's willingness to accept and implement citizens' complaints.
léegi daal gis naa ne ñi ku nekk yaa ngi wax lu la neex waaye nit ki sooy wax lu la neex tamit fekk da nga am lu la neex sa dëkk waaye yaa ngi wax ba pare li ngay wax faale wuñ ko.
Government's willingness to listen and implement our suggestions or solve our complaints will be signs that acceptance of freedom of expression and speech is complete. We spoke to some individuals off camera who mentioned that they're trying to get used to speaking up in public about their concerns following 22 years of authoritarian rule. This became evident as we struggled to get people to allow us to capture the few opinions we have for the story. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jennifer Sonko.
Well, will there be ever an ending debate about that? Freedom of expression, freedom of speech, free speech, or whatever you call it. The Kanifing Municipal Council have removed the waste dumped at the Serekunda Sandika after vendors in a QTV news broadcast on Monday raised concerns over its adverse effect on them and their customers. Umi Awaba spoke to KMC officials and market vendors and confirmed that the rubbish has been removed. Her report is narrated by Ansumane Sonyasi.
According to the vendors, the garbage piled up at the Sandika for about 3 weeks. Following its removal, the women say they are delighted that KMC reacted and removed the waste dump. It was a sigh of relief for them as they can now continue their businesses without having to worry about the pollution and discomfort caused by the uncollected waste. Lamin F. Baji, KMC's Deputy Director of Services and Head of Geographical Information System, says the council was not aware of the uncollected waste at the Sandika.
My name is Lamin F. Baji, Deputy Director of Services, KMC, and Head of GIS. I really apologize to the vendors at Serekunda Sandika due to the information that was written to us on the last Monday on the 10th of October 2022. Really, for us at Kanifing Municipal Council, it's not our intention to pile waste at any area of this municipality. We really apologize for the vendors and the residents staying at that area. It was not our intention to pile a waste without collection. Our intention is to collect waste daily from the residents of this municipality.
How did the waste pile up then?
Baji added that the council will continue to engage vendors and stall owners on keeping the market clean by following good sanitary practices. He further stated that indiscriminate dumping is one of the challenges they face at the market, especially the Sandika.
To my understanding, Sandika is meant for commodities that people normally use daily, such as groundnut, other fruit commodities, but not for fish. Because at Serekunda, we have a specific area where fish vendors should go and do their daily business. So, but Sandika definitely is not meant for that.
The vendors say they pay tax every day before they start selling, yet they get driven away by the police. Modu Enjai, KMC's market manager, clarifies the reason for paying tax.
But to clarify that the issue of paying the duty is totally different from being allocated with a space. According to our bylaws, if you are selling, you have to pay duty. At the market, we do allocate spaces, but on the street, it's not meant for selling. We have seen that Serekunda is so congested, especially within the surrounding of the market, until vendors are selling on the streets. But to be specific, there is a specific area whereby wherever we meet a vendor, we have to clear that area. That is from the Serekunda Clinic gate towards the Westfield Highway, simply because of the ambulance.
Mr. Njai added that the vendors are allowed to sell in the streets from morning to midday. Yamamane, a vendor at the Sandika, expressed delight at the removal of the waste.
This was what we wanted. We are happy that the environment is hygienic and healthy. We thank the KMC for this. We are pleased and praying for them.
Some vendors at the market who wish to remain anonymous said, despite it being the council's responsibility to manage our markets, especially the proper disposal of waste, vendors should take the responsibility and desist from indiscriminate dumping. They added that the waste which was dumped and which was at the center of this controversy was created by the vendors. As we left, we could see that business is back to normal at the Sandika market. Answane Sonyasi for KTV News.
Now, before we end this news bulletin, here is a recap of our main news headlines. The Minister for Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment on Friday presided over the official opening of the first Gambia-Nigeria MSME exhibition at the GCCI Trade Fair grounds in Busubi. Staff at Sheikh Zayed Regional Eye Care Hospital in Kanifing have raised concern about the increase in the number of people with eye problems, especially young children. The Gambia joined the rest of the world today to mark International Standards Day under the theme, Our Shared Vision for a Better World. Following debates on social media over freedom of speech in the Gambia, we engaged the public for their views on the current state of freedom of expression and freedom of speech, and the limitations attached to it. The Kanifing Municipal Council have removed the uncollected waste dumped at the Serekunda Sandika after vendors in a QTV news broadcast on Monday had raised concerns over its adverse effect on them and their customers. Well, that's it for QTV News tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Join us tomorrow for more news and have a pleasant night. Bye.